SDGs, they can now decide to choose which of the goals they want to go into, they want to advocate, they want to create policies around, and what have you. We can also take these SDGs to clubs, school clubs, secondary school clubs, tertiary institutions, where youth come together to champion the SDGs. By so doing, create project out of it, and also tell their colleagues, tell their classmates, tell everybody around them about the SDGs. Just spread the word about the SDGs. I was privileged to be part of Enato's presenters during my time in school, and from my background and coming up with community projects, going to underdeserved communities, providing clean water for them, projects, wash, water hygiene and sanitation in line with the Sustainable Development Goals, help a lot of youth around me to understand that this is how they can get involved. And currently, a lot of people under my organization have started buying into SDG 5 by supporting what I do. You asked the question that should it be collectively or individually? Alone, we can do nothing, but together, we can do so much more. So when we come together and put our hands together, remember the SDGs are interwoven, they are intertwined. You can't separate this from this, because when you're trying to end poverty and hunger is there, it's not going to go well. So that's why the goal 17 talks about partnership for the goal. So you need to partner. You need to have the partnership base to ensure that this goes. And you need to also do it from the sincerity of your heart that this goal is for the betterment of now and the future, and also for the world at large. So with this, we can do it together. I am an advocate of teamwork, togetherness, and also teach first. First of all, they need to get the knowledge, they need to understand, they need to be taught what the SDGs are before they are given options. Just like when you go to school, you don't know anything about medicine, but you need to learn about medicine before you become a doctor or a gynecologist or whatever field you choose to be. That is how the SDGs are. So you need to advocate through education, then they are given choices to become the advocates of the Sustainable Development Goals. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much on that. That was really insightful. I don't know. To the floor members, do you guys have anything to say? Do you have any question? You can drop it at the chat box. We'll kind of see it and attend to it. Thank you. So the next question is, are there organizations that one could belong to in order to achieve all these goals? Do we really belong to, do we really need to belong to an organization? Could it be an NGO, or you can just carry it out and then register it? Yeah, it's open for anyone that wants to answer. Idam, are you still with us?
Yeah.
So in attending to that question, could you please throw more light on it?
Okay. Thank you. Is it Mary, the one that spoke last, or Shioma Profession, right? Is it Mary or Shioma? Thank you very much. The last speaker, she really did awesome in her presentation. Okay. In respect to your question, should one join an organization or go on to carry the project? Well, I would say if you have an organization to join, then you go on to join an organization. If you have an organization to join, go on and join an organization. Then if you don't have an organization to join, you can go on to carry out your program as far as it is related to the SDGs goals. Okay, for instance, I'm this kind of person that I started this project far back 7-8 years ago, with or without reaching out to any organization first. It was as a result of the impact of my programs that organization now saw what I was doing, and they were like, okay, we need to get him involved into what we are doing. And to God be the glory, I have worked with several organizations. But at the meantime, one must start from that which he has. Are you passionate? Would you deliver? It's not about working with organization. No one wants to work with someone who is not passionate. One must be passionate first before you can think of working with an organization, because it's not a paid job. It's not something that when you go on to do, you say, okay, at the end of the day, I'll get 100,000. It's not a civil service job. It's not like that. It doesn't work that way. So that is just it. So be ready to work. If you have an organization, be ready to work with them. Or if you don't have an organization, be ready to go into the street, go to school, visit schools, visit churches, talk to them. So the question is for both sides. That's whether you work for organization or you work individually. As far as achieving SDGs is concerned, please do where to work. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much on that. I don't know if we still have someone that wants to contribute from our panelists.
Yes.
Okay.
The question you ask is that are there organizations that one can join to achieve this?
Yes.
First,
yes.
The truth is that we can't achieve it on our own. Nobody can actually build Rome in a day or alone. We cannot build a sustainable society all alone. However, just like the previous speaker said, you must be able to identify what you're passionate about. Personally, I'm passionate about zero hunger. I'm a farmer and I believe in a food sufficient society. And that's why I run what I call Agric Inspire every month. What's my focus? To be able to inspire people towards agriculture. In order to be able to achieve, you had to join organizations. I can see female genital mutilation here. It's not something you're doing all alone. You can't do it alone. There are organizations you must join. As I began to fly the program, I discovered that there are persons who are interested too. And then we began to connect. I discovered that there are organizations who are also doing the same thing. And so I began to connect. We began to connect. Yes, there are organizations that one can join to achieve this. But before you can discover that, you must be working towards that. You must start up something. Just like the previous speaker said, you must begin to let people know what you do. You must begin to let people know what you're passionate about. And then you begin to attract. You begin to see those organizations. You begin to see those persons. You begin to see those bodies that are out there to help you achieve this. And so, yes, there are organizations. The organizations or the organizations there, you can only see them when you are beginning to, when you have passion towards, when you have begun to express that passion that you have, and then you begin to attract those organizations, or you begin to get attracted to those organizations and begin to now work collaboratively to achieve these SDGs goals. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much on that. Mary, do you still have anything else to say? Or should we move on?
Yeah, so I just want to chip in a bit to that question. Yeah, just like I said, you cannot do everything alone. Therefore, you need to collaborate, which is the main thing. In this space, we do not compete. We only collaborate. We only partner. The goal 17 had made it clear. Partnership for the goals. So you can't want to do all the 17 goals alone. You need to partner with people that have done it. They've obtained their results. You can see the results. Then you are just starting up as an advocate. There are people that have gone ahead. They've made lots of mistakes. They've gone to communities. They will teach you, they will tutor you. They are going to hold your hands to go into achieving these SDG goals. You need to partner with a lot of people, not just organizations, community heads. I mean, I do a lot of community service and projects. I understand that you cannot just go walk into a community without going through someone or leaders. So you see, you're partnering with major stakeholders to ensure that the goals are achieved. Also, when people start seeing what you're doing, they will not just want to bring you on board immediately. They want to see how serious you are. You know, a lot of people go into the SDGs because of personal gains. They want to. That is why we have a lot of fracas in pursuing the SDGs, right? You know, when you're sick, you don't just go to get paracetamol for stomach ache. There's always a prescription for whatever thing you are doing. But most people um, go out there and say they are campaigning or advocating for gender equality. When they get funds for gender equality, just because of what I said before now, they want to get money just because they know that there's when you start advocating and all of that, people start sending funds and all. They use it for a different thing. And you're wondering, but this person came out to take funds for gender equality projects or climate change. So why are there lapses in this particular sphere? Why is it that every now and then we still have issue regarding concerning climate change, issue concerning agriculture and all of that? I am also very passionate about agriculture. And I tend to see that a lot of things have happened around agriculture as regards to the climate change and all. But I am also passionate about gender equality. But in order for me to work with people, I don't know everything. So I need to identify people in my space, people in gender equality, people in agriculture, people in climate change to ensure that this thing gets moving, right? So it has to do with passion. You need to understand your passion before you can go out to meet people to partner with.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you very much. You said we all have to be like, I've been hearing passion, passion, passion. So my question is like, these days a lot of people like the youths, if you get them to join an organization that is working towards one of the SDGs, one of the things they will ask you first is, are they paying? So you try to see that it's always hard to confuse them, like to join in achieving all these SDGs. So how do we go about it in drawing them closer to the towards achieving this SDGs come 2030? Because the vision is 2030, and that should be like 6 years. So the baby wanted to say something.
Okay. Yeah. Nadia, thank you very much. Let me just say, we need to take this message down to the community. We need to make these people understand the impact of what we are trying to do. The reason why these people go on to ask what will be their gain at the end of the day, they're not seeing that collective gain, that commonwealth gain, that the community is going to benefit. Their gains are only directed towards individual individual personalities. Now, what is our take? We must go on to convince these people through sensitization program, like what I did today. I was able to make these people understand that advocating for community development, advocating for climatic change calls for everyone's action. That this is not something that one needs to be expected to pay, to be paid for. That this is a collective problem and it needs a collective solution. So who is going to pay who? Now, my company, we are into production of soap, and we have narrowed it down to production of eco-friendly soap. I could have just said, okay, how much am I going to benefit? if I go on to produce synthetic soap products, and benefits higher other than going on to produce organic soap or soap made with natural products or natural ingredients. Now, I'm not seeing that gain, that individual gain. What I'm trying to see here is the collective gain. I had to convince myself on the need to get this done. So now that we have understood it, now that I have understood it, it's my responsibility to go and convince others. It's just like soul winning. If they have won you to a church, now your target is to win another person. Just like people that are doing networking. Once they network you, the target will now be for you to network another person. You must be able to convince. Now, our business here, we are more of marketers. We sell our products in form of ideas, in form of solutions to collective problems, making those people to buy this idea and making them understand the need, why they need it, or why they have to get involved. And that is exactly what I did today. Like the planting of trees, I told them, please bring trees. Though I also involved my money, little money, to purchase some trees. I showed them an example. I said, this is the way. They came with their trees. And we all planted it. We planted more than 500 trees. So you see it, they went on to pick a tree for themselves. So had it been that I didn't convince them, it would have been very difficult. They will ask me, okay, what is the sense of bringing that? Okay, if I bring the tree, how much are you going to pay me? But they say a leader must lead by example. I led them by example, and they understood the language, my body language, everything. And that is just it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Raymond, that highlights. The floor is still open if there is any more contributions towards that. Okay, I guess we are all settled with that one. So we go over with the challenges that the youth could face in achieving all these SDGs goals. Mary, could you please highlight on that?
Okay, so most times when we work with youth and within our cycle, you see that a lot of people complain about finance first, because we have to tell ourselves the truth. In as much as we are doing advocacy and then we need to take a project to a certain community, right? We also need to understand that logistics are involved. There are a lot of logistics that are involved. But notwithstanding, it's not more of a challenge that cannot be solved, because I know I carry out a lot of my projects without spending so much. What I do is bootstrap. When I'm going to a community, I know I already have like major stakeholders in that community, and I just connect with them. So for people who do not have that kind of ability to bootstrap and get things done, they always complain about finance, right? They always complain about not having a lot of money to, I mean, move around or carry out a certain project. Secondly, the challenges are the most of them do not also understand. When I was saying understanding needs to come in, they need to know that these goals are is for the sake of humanity. They need to have that awareness, just like what they rightly said. If they don't understand it, you're going to have a big problem. You will always have big problems, because people tend to see physical cash, as a reward system without knowing fully well that it is actually giving your time, your energy, your skills and resources to humanity that matters and counts, and it pays the most, right? So we need to also those are one of the challenges is the not having the actual knowledge of what SDGs are all about. And thirdly, I would say most times when people carry out projects, they just do it haphazardly without really knowing how to have like sustainable, even though we are talking about sustainable development goals, most of these projects are not sustainable in nature. So those are challenges, like having sustainable plans and also replicable. Are this project, can they be replicated and all of that? So these are part of the challenges that I can figure out for now in respect to what we are saying.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Chioma, could you highlight on the challenges that the youth could face in achieving all these SDGs? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nadia. I was looking at the roles youth can play in achieving zero hunger. If youth are going to advocate once and through social media and other platform, are they going to be listened to? The necessary bodies, the government, do they really listen to the youth? And if they listen, will they do anything about it? I remember talking, like I said when I was talking earlier, I spoke to one of the advisors to the government on youth issues and the rest of them. And yes, I talked about it, but would they really listen? And if they listen, would they apply it? And secondly, I said that innovation is one of the roles. If youth come up with innovations, are they going to get the necessary support to be able to bring these innovations to limelight? Okay, we find out that the challenges actually is not just about finance, but also support. The challenges is that we have a government, so to say, who is just about themselves, selfishness. So if youth come up with innovations that can help solve the problem of hunger, would they be listened to? And if youth volunteer their time and resources, how do they would they be supported? Would they actually get something back? Because if they don't get a positive feedback, it can be discouraging. Now, after learning about hunger and the rest of them, if they learn about these systems, with the major problem, the major challenge we have as in achieving this is basically what is self. One, of course, the youth needs to be interested. Lots of youth are not interested. Then secondly, if they're interested, will they be supported? Will they get the support that is needed? Do we have a system that supports youth participation? If youth decide, come together and make a decision, would they be listened to? So the major challenge is that we do not have interested youths, because of course, like you asked the previous time, what is need for them? The money, would they get enough output? Okay, we would not have youth who are really interested in achieving this zero hunger, and also we do not have a government, we do not have a listening government who are ready to implement. We have a government that believe in talking and just talking and then do nothing about it. So if we have youth who are interested and we have government who is listening, we have a listening government, then what will happen is that we're going to have a robust system that is able to achieve these SDGs. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I want to thank, we already, just a few minutes left for us to close, I guess. So in 2 seconds, like a take-home advice to our listeners. You can start, Machoma. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Zero hunger is achievable. Is very, very achievable. We all can start something. We can do homestead. We can plant a small garden in our home. Everybody, imagine every home planting, having a garden where they can access fresh food, where you can have something readily available. When we had cashless policy, I was least affected because when I went to market and I couldn't buy things, I just went to my garden and I was able to pick some things and I was able to still make meal for myself and my family. When everybody have a garden, what happened is that we are beginning to achieve SDG 2 goal, which is zero hunger. So please plant a garden. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Dobrem, can you highlight on it? Thank you.
Okay. My own is, let's just make impact. Let's get all hands on deck, because achieving the sustainable development goals calls for everyone action. Thank you.
Thank you so much to those that made it. We'll still have the section again tomorrow morning, same time, same venue. So I want to really appreciate everyone that made it.
Did you just say tomorrow morning or tomorrow evening?
Tomorrow evening, sorry, tomorrow evening. We'll still gather again to deliberate on this. Yeah, thank you so much.